Alrighty, everybody. Thank you again so much for being here with us today. My name is Marco. I'm part of the Carepatron team. Today, we're going to be going over a very important subject, guys, which are strategies for private practice growth. Okay. Before we get into the actual presentation, guys, I did want to mention that you might have noticed your cameras and your microphones are turned off. We also don't have the chat feature enabled for this webinar. But if you have questions or if there's anything you want to share with us, you can send those through the Q&A option in here. To find the Q&A option, all you need to do is go to the bottom right of this call window. You're going to see an option there. The icon itself is a square made out of dots. It's called Meeting Tools. If you click there, you're going to see the Q&A option. It's the third option out of that list. You can send us your questions there. We will make sure we get to you guys as soon as possible. Now, having said that, guys, I want to make sure we know what we're going to be covering today for these strategies for private practice growth. So first, we're going to be covering why growth is important in private practice, going beyond the basic importance of generating income, and we're going to be looking at how growth is related to sustainability. Second part is tools for attracting and retaining clients. We're going to be showing you a couple of those, and also how you can expand your impact. Now, here's a question for you guys. Why is growth important? Now, to many, the concept of growth may suggest like continuous expansion or always increasing something. In today's climate, however, growth is largely about sustainability, guys. Now, if you think about it, without a focus on growth, it'll be very difficult for a practice to be sustainable. So let's take a closer look at that, guys. Now, we know economic concerns have been increasing. According to Hurd's Financial State of Private Practice report, which was published this year, guys, 85% of users are concerned about the current administration's impact on their profit. And only 34% saw higher profits in 2024 compared to 2023. Lastly, those accepting insurance earned 36% less per session than cash pay practices. Now, in addition to all of these things, there are also other rising expenses like rent, liability insurance, software and practice management tools continue to increase their prices, often frequently and sometimes without warning, right? So it makes all these issues, what makes all these issues worse is the impact that they are having on patients in need. Think about it this way. Without healthcare practitioners that are able to cover costs, wait times continue to increase significantly for those patients. So an example is that in major U.S. metropolitan areas, guys, think around like the metropolitan area of Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Seattle, big cities in the States, it takes an average of 31 days for a client or a patient to secure an appointment. And this is just the average. It could be increased if we don't take into consideration how to sustainably grow your practice. Now, the flip side of this is twofold, guys. The first is there is a rising demand for mental health services. And the second is there are huge current market opportunities for private practices. All you need to do is know where to optimize your growth and how to do that, which is why we're here and how we can help. Okay. As you can see, growth isn't just about profit, but it's more about expanding reach, serving more clients, and building a sustainable practice, as it says right here. How do you achieve sustainable and meaningful growth? Well, the first step is to attract and retain the right clients, guys. And in order to do so, you need to understand your audience, okay? The first thing you need to do is develop your ICP, which stands for Ideal Customer Profile. Now, guys, like I said, you don't have your cameras on or your microphones, but you do have reactions enabled. And I want to make sure you guys send us a reaction to the following question, which is, how many of you guys have already built your ICP? Feel free to send me hands, thumbs up, clapping hands, reaction. Alrighty, awesome. Thank you guys so much for that. Now, second question for you. How many of you make it a habit to revisit your ICP? Okay. Thank you so much for participating, guys. Now, your ICP, it's the foundation upon which you will build all your marketing and promotional strategies. So without a solid understanding of your ICP, you won't know whether you're speaking to the right people, who the right people are, or where they are, or how to target them. Okay. Now, your ideal customer profile is, as the name suggests, a clear description of the type of client you're best equipped and most energized to support, guys. One of the best ways of developing your ICP is to think of one of your best clients and then working backwards. Now, your best client may be someone who consistently has good feedback to share with you guys or leaves a really good review. Maybe they're just a repeat customer. Here are a couple of questions to ask yourselves about them. One of them is, what problems were they trying to solve? What were or are their goals? For example, were they looking for an ongoing care relationship or requiring a specific one-off service, right? What's their typical budget? How did they hear about you? These are some great questions to start building and molding your ideal customer profile, guys. Now, here's an example of an ICP based on a therapist profile. I'll make sure to go through it with you guys. First and foremost, who they are. A young professional, 24 to 32 years old, living in an urban and suburban area. What they're struggling with, they're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and exhausted by demanding entry-level work. They experience a constant pressure to perform that leads to chronic stress. And what they're looking for, practical coping strategies and support in managing work-life balance. They value a therapist who's direct, empathetic, and understands the pressures of professional life. They usually have health insurance, spend their free time online, and are open to receiving virtual care. Now, guys, after going through all this, you might say, hey, this is a pretty specific ICP, right? It's very specific to a practice. And it might feel like it's pigeonhole, your clients or your practice. That same point is why it's important to have a range of ICPs, guys, not just the one, so you can better understand the needs of all of your clients. Now, in addition to your ICP, you also need to think about your unique value proposition, or UVP. Your UVP is the answer to a simple but very essential question, which is, why should someone choose to work with you over another practice, guys? Now, think of it this way. Potential clients aren't just looking for a therapist or a chiropractor. They're looking for the right one for their specific needs. So your UVP is that clear statement that tells them, this is exactly what I do, and this is the unique experience and results you can expect from working with me. It's not just your credentials. It's more than that. It's the benefit and the promise behind your work. Okay. So this brings us to the second point on this slide, which is communicating your unique value proposition to your ICP. And it's how you'll attract the right clients for your practice. Once you've defined your ideal client or profile, your ICP, your unique value proposition becomes your most powerful tool, guys. I mean, when a potential client sees your UVP directly address their pain points and speaks to their goals, they're going to feel seen and understood from the start without even receiving care yet. So this makes them far more likely to book a consultation, which will turn them from a passive searcher into an actual ideal client. So it's kind of the core of effective marketing, guys. Now, here's an example of a UVP that is modeled off the example ICP that I shared with you guys before. So for high achieving young professionals navigating burnout and career stress, I offer a focused, practical path to reclaim your energy and build a life of purpose. Using evidence-based, solution-focused strategies, I'll equip you with the skills to confidently set boundaries, manage imposter syndrome, and thrive in your career and personal life. So that's basic. That's the example UVP that we have here, guys. Now, a couple of things to highlight. The unique value proposition in here highlights first who the target clients are, what they're experiencing, how you will help, and what they will get from that experience. So you have all those right here. Okay. Now, sorry about that, guys. I had a bit of there we go. So if we continue, when it comes to identifying your UVP, you have some key questions to ask yourself. First, if you are a part of a group practice, it's always good, guys, to think about these and collaborate with your team when coming up with the UVP. Okay, so you guys get all the perspectives in there when coming up with it. Now, what specific skills do you bring to the table? Are you specialized in a certain style or technique? These could have been, you could have learned about these in academia or by just practice, really. But what certain style or technique are you specialized in? what is your style of care? You know, do you get consistent positive feedback from your clients on your day work, or on the way you work? Sorry. How do you empower your clients to lead a better life? So a couple of things to think about when coming up with your UVP, guys. Now, by having your UVP and your ICP, you have the foundation upon which all your growth strategies will be built on. So let's look at how you attract clients by being online. Now, think about how your clients find a new product or service. The first step is almost always a search. I know it is for me. Whenever I'm trying to learn about something new, guys, I'll go to Google and I'll search for it first, see what it's all about, right? It's no different for healthcare, guys. While referrals are incredibly valuable, they're often just the beginning, right? The potential client will still go online to learn more, verify your credentials, and get a general feel for who you are and how you work, guys. So a strong online presence isn't about being everywhere, really. It's about being clear and easy to find where your ideal customers or clients are already looking, okay? So let's dive deeper into that. First, you need to consider your website. There are a number of important things to consider when it comes to your website, okay? Often, the details of a website are kind of overlooked or deemed unimportant or too difficult or too design heavy to be managed. And while you can outsource website improvements to a third party, and I mean, there are some excellent web designer folks out there, guys, you are undoubtedly capable of following website best practices, okay? Website maintenance, it can get complicated at times, but if you have the following things, you'll be ticking the most important boxes. One, make sure that it's up to date. The information that's in there should have the most recent information, including business details like your address, your office address, your phone number, your email address to contact you guys, the pricing of the services that you provide. Second of all, it should be easy to navigate, because clients want a website experience that's easy and intuitive. You know, there should be clear journeys or paths that push clients towards certain pages in your website. For example, where services are offered, or like I said, the pricing options for those services. Third is transparency, guys. Clients want to see prices, okay? If for whatever reason you can't share them publicly, maybe you guys have a sliding scale because you offer a subscription type of service, that is totally fine. What we're saying is make it clear what the next steps are and how clients can inquire further for pricing information if that's what they're looking for. You know, if you can't give them an exact number, you can tell them the reason why you can't give them that exact number, right? Like, you could just let them know, we don't have exact pricing because we offer a sliding scale. Please contact our team to know more about this, okay? Fourth is design, which unfortunately people do judge books by their covers, okay? So you do need to ensure your website is clean and it follows good design principles, okay? Fifth is make sure that it's on brand. Your site should be cohesive and it should incorporate your branding. Your theming and style should also be consistent throughout the website. So you want to use the same fonts, the same color palette, similar language in the text inside of, you know, each page. So things that make sure that the experience is consistent and on brand with your practice. So let's take a look at a quick example here of a website that could do with some improvement, guys. So at the top, the header navigation menu is too busy. And if you look at it, the text is a bit too small. So this is the section of a site where users need to clearly and easily interpret what's being shown there in order to navigate around the site, right? So as you can see, and there's a bit of a box here that we've added to make it a bit easier for you guys to find it. This box was not in the actual website. There are just about 10 options, I think, or exactly 10 options here. Whereas a range of 4 to 6 is better, guys, because if you think about it, this is my first time going to your website, and you're trying to take me through here they're trying to take me through really specific paths that I am still not knowledgeable enough about to want to explore, right? So there are things here that if I'm a first-time visitor to your website, it might confuse me and it might take me to the wrong place when I'm trying to look for a certain piece of information. So a range of 4 to 6 is a way better proposal here at the start for clients, less overwhelming for them. And if you make them clear and Simple, it'll make the experience the exact same for the client. Clear and simple to navigate. Now, another thing to take a look at, the white text in here on the website, guys. Since it's against the lightish background, it makes the text hard to read. Also, there's no consistent color palette in here. I do see some beiges here in the background image. I wouldn't consider that a color palette. It's more like just the image itself, because down here the image also has like greens on it, a bit of beige, but the booking button here is an entirely different color to any of the other things that I'm seeing here. So there is no consistency there. Okay. Also, you'll notice the imagery feels a bit outdated because the formatting of each is different. You have an image up here that covers the entirety of the page, within the size of the image itself. But down here, you have an image that doesn't cover the entire page. So it feels outdated. It feels like an old school website, right? More like a blog experience. As a user, if I were to go in here, honestly, I don't know what the next step should be. Okay. The CTA isn't visually commanding at all. Okay. Let's take a look at a better example, or example of a better website. Okay. Immediately, guys, the consistency of the color palette is obvious, right? We see greens all around, not only here on the action buttons here, but also this gradient, as well as the icons down here, and another shade of green here for the section below. There are 4 or 5 options in the top navigation menu. So we have just services, about us, resources, and contact. Pretty straightforward. If I want to know about the services that you provide, I'll definitely go here. If I want to know how to get in contact with you guys, I'm going to go over here as well. If there's anything that I should know about regarding your practice, I'll know to go to resources, right? Now, the white text in this case stands out more against the darker background, and the image is positive and it feels more relevant. It feels more modern along with the website. So what is the result? Cohesive, simple, on-brand experience that makes me, as a user, as a client, more inclined to stay on the website and navigate further. Now, let's move on to online directories. Again, guys, let's use those reactions. How many of you are listed in online directories currently? Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Let's come back here a little bit. Now, these functions are a super powerful search tool for your potential clients. If you guys don't know about them, think about how someone looks for a new provider. They might start by searching for something general, something like therapist near me or nutritionist for runners, right? They don't know your name yet, but they know what they need. So online directories like Psychology Today or ZenCare help those clients filter through thousands of options to find someone who fits their specific criteria. It could be by location, the specialty, even by insurance coverage, guys. But this is your opportunity to meet clients where they're already searching, right? You don't have to spend a lot of time on a complex marketing strategy or expensive ads. You just have to make sure your directory or the listing in your directory is clear and intentional, okay? So make sure you use plain, welcoming language, describe who you help and how you help them, and include up-to-date contact details, okay? Also, guys, keep in mind, you don't need to be in every directory, but you do need to make the ones that you're in count, okay? So let's go over another thing that's super important, SEO, search engine optimization. How many of you guys are familiar with SEO? Awesome. Well, SEO refers to the digital marketing strategies that help your website rank online, okay? Now, it's kind of like making your practice's website visible for people who are actively looking for the services you offer. Now, good SEO practices will mean your website is more likely to be surfaced in search results. And this is crucial because most people never look past the first page of Google, okay? So how do we do that? How do we get you on that first page, for example? Learning SEO may seem complicated and technical, guys, but for the most part, it really doesn't have to be. So let's go over a few best practices for that, okay? I promise you, if you implement these, you'll be in a really strong SEO position. First, keyword research. This simply means figuring out the words and phrases your ideal clients are actually typing into Google. Think like your client, not as a practitioner, guys. They're more likely to search something like anxiety therapy in Portland, right? Than they are cognitive behavioral therapy, right? So once you know the phrases that your clients are using, you can use them to naturally on your website and your homepage, your services, and all of that. Next, your Google profile, your Google business profile. Sorry, guys. This is a free and essential tool, and it's a quick win for SEO, guys. By claiming and optimizing that listing, it puts your profile and your practice directly on the map, and like literally on Google Maps and on the map figuratively as well as in local search results. It's the way that your clients will be able to find your hours, your contact info, even your website with just one click. Think about when you're looking for a restaurant, guys, or you're looking for a store online. You're going to see that listing that not only shows that information, that there are also images there, reviews, all that information that as a client or a potential client, I am trying to learn about you. Third is page speed and mobile friendliness, guys. A significant amount of web traffic comes from mobile devices nowadays. So if your website is slow to load or difficult to navigate on a phone, potential clients will honestly quickly abandon it. And Google prioritizes fast and mobile friendly sites. So guys, you should also prioritize those. Now, finally, update and optimize. Think of SEO as an ongoing practice. It's not a one-time thing. You need to regularly update your profile with your correct hours. You need to refresh your website content, and you need to add new information that shows search engines that you're an active and relevant source. Okay. Now, by focusing on these areas, guys, you're not just playing a game with an algorithm. You're making it effortless for your clients, or the right clients in this case, to find you and connect with your practice. Let's take a closer look at some of the keyword research stuff. This here is an example of a search result in Ahrefs. It's a tool that helps with SEO. And that search here, the search result is for the search term, how to find a counselor. Now, without getting too technical, guys, this screenshot shows that ranking for this keyword is difficult. So it also shows, sorry, I had a bit of a freeze here. Okay. It also shows there's a monthly search volume of 250 in the US right here, and a traffic potential of 165K right here, meaning the #1 ranking page for this keyword gets its amount of traffic from all the keywords it ranks for. More to the point, underneath this section are lists with various keyword ideas that are related to the overall topic. So these provide suggestions for different keywords you may want to try and rank for. For example, creating a blog titled How to Find a Counselor, or by incorporating these keywords in your existing site pages. Now, while Ahrefs is a paid SEO and keyword research tool, free tools do exist, guys. You can also use ChatGPT to ask for ideas. So on the right-hand side, you can see the prompt I put into ChatGPT, guys. The top sentence here says, can you provide a list of keywords that I should use as a mental health therapist based out of New York City? I work in a private practice and offer a range of services. And then I just added the ICP and the UVP that we went over earlier. What they're looking for, my UVP is this. And then ChatGPT gave me a result that categorized suggested keywords. Now you can see that it has been location specific, and it has broken down the keyword category, so they focus on the ICP and services. Now, it also suggested keywords based on the conditions, which are likely to be similar to what patients search. So it went one step further to provide a hint. For example, the therapy keywords in NYC are very hard to rank for, so it makes sense to go after longer tail keywords. Finally, it offered to suggest blog ideas based on these keywords. While AI can be useful for ideation, guys, I do want to make sure that we keep this in mind. You should never rely on it to completely write a blog post, okay? Make sure you still give it that human touch. Make sure you go over it before you publish anything, okay? Now, having a Google business profile guarantees better visibility for your business because when people in your local area are searching key terms like physical therapy near me or things like that, your business is more likely to be served in the search results. So your profile also contains your address, contact information, images, opening hours, and Google reviews, as I mentioned before, guys. So this is basically the Google Business Profile listing that you'll see for your practice. Now, everyone knows how frustrating it is trying to load a slow site. I know that if I'm looking for a service or of some sort or anything and the website doesn't load, I'm not going to wait. I'd rather exit and find another faster loading site. So the good thing is the page speed can be checked quickly. I recorded a video to show you this, so you guys know how it can be done. In an incognito mode page, open up the page and you'll want to click on inspect, as you might have seen. Second is right click on the select inspect. It will open up this view here that we're seeing. Hover over the arrows and click Lighthouse. This will take you to a second view, which is what we're seeing here. Select your settings. We'll look at desktop performance in this example, and then hit Analyze. So Analyze page load right there. Now Lighthouse will generate the report and show you guys the result. In this case, the performance, you'll see it in a second, will be rated, and we'll see the number in a little bit. Now, while we wait for that number, guys, I do want to mention that it gives you a breakdown of the different components on the page and diagnostics on those as well. So not only will it give you like a general grade per se, it will tell you what areas are it's taking a look at and where you can improve your performance. So now we see it here. It gave us a rating of 99. If we look individually, we have a 99 for performance, 96 for accessibility, 100% for best practices, and 100% for SEO. So in this case, what I would do is, I'd say, okay, I think the only thing that I can go ahead and improve definitely is that 96 right there. So I can make the experience a lot better. Okay. Now, a second tool that is very useful for understanding your site performance is Page Speed Insights. That's the name of the tool. It's a free tool, and it allows you to enter any site page and generate a report similar to Lighthouse. Okay. Now, here in the image, you can see we've used the same page as we did for the Lighthouse report, and using these tools, we got these results right here. Now, if you use them regularly, it will allow you guys to keep track of your site performance and make any changes should they, be deemed necessary, guys. But it just makes sure that you guys are on top of the performance of your website. Okay. Now, following these best practices, guys, keyword research, maintaining your Google Business Profile, and staying on top of your site performance is a good start. It's a really good start to start owning your SEO. Okay. It's important that you approach these practices as continuous and cyclical, as I said before, guys. Remember, this is not a one and done process, and SEO audits should instead be done quarterly, at least. Okay. There are, of course, guys, other ways to attract new clients, some of which you no doubt already know, like referral networks. We know healthcare is an industry of networking, and while a strong website and directory presence will capture clients, during independent searches of their own, referrals place your name in the conversation before they even start looking. So clients turn to the people they already trust when they need guidance, right? For anything. Now, this could be a doctor, a physical therapist, a school counselor, or even a local community leader that they are searching advice from. When you have a strong referral relationship with those professionals, they can become a consistent source of warm, pre-qualified leads. So to get started, you don't need to have a formal program. Simply identify local clinicians whose patients could benefit from your services. You could send them a brief professional introduction. You could even create a simple one-page PDF with your specialties, contact information, and how they can refer clients to you. Remember, guys, a strong referral network isn't just about getting more clients. It's about building a reputation in your community as a trusted and reliable professional. The best way to improve client retention is to improve the client experience. So think of it in 3 parts, guys. The first is streamlining your intake. Your intake process sets the tone for the entire relationship. Okay. A confusing start can create anxiety for the client, and it can also cause them to drop off. A simple, welcoming, and organized intake form, on the other hand, makes a powerful first impression and gets the relationship off on the right foot. Second thing to look at, communication strategies. This is about how you communicate between sessions, guys. It includes automating reminders, which will help you guys reduce no-shows. You can also do a simple follow-up when a client cancels, and also set clear boundaries to protect your time, guys. These tiny, small efforts build trust and reinforce consistency with your clients, guys. The third point to look at is continuous feedback loops. Retention is not an accident, guys. It's not going to just happen. It's built on a commitment to continuous improvement, okay? So by creating systems to regularly check in with your clients and ask for their feedback, you can make small adjustments that lead to big improvements in satisfaction and engagement over time, okay? Now, the intake process is often the first meaningful interaction the client has with your practice and can either make them feel calm and confident or overwhelmed and uncertain. So how can you improve your intake process? Simple and online booking, guys. An intuitive online booking system lets clients see your availability and your schedule, and to schedule appointments at their convenience without needing to call you guys or email you or text you. Send paperwork in advance, guys. You can digitally send and share all consent forms, onboarding materials, and assessments through a secure portal. This lets clients complete those at their own pace and frees up time in your session for your first session for meaningful conversation. Okay. Communicate appointment updates. Use an automated appointment reminder tool to send any important updates or reminders to clients via their communications channel of choice. Okay. Feedback loops are a very simple but powerful way to build client retention. It's about creating intentional opportunities to check in and see how the process is working for them. You can do this by, even informally, by simply asking the client, is there anything that feels unclear or off for you so far? Is there anything that I can, go back to? You can also build it into your transitions, like when you're moving from a weekly to bi-weekly sessions, you could ask something like, how would you like to adjust, or how would you like for us to work together moving forward? Making these small but meaningful adjustments based on this input, you guys signal to clients that their voice matters. And over time, this trust and continuous refinement will make a measurable difference in client satisfaction and retention. Now, scaling your practice is an exciting step. Growing doesn't necessarily have to mean simply adding more one-on-one clients to your calendar. For many practitioners, it means creating new ways to serve more people without increasing your hours. This is where diversifying your services comes in. Think about the expertise you've built through your one-on-one network. It has immense value that can be shared in different formats. For example, instead of only offering individual sessions, you could expand to group therapies. It's a small way to serve more people in the same amount of time, and a group therapy allows for you guys to build community and reinforce your expertise and make your services more accessible and affordable. You can also host workshops or webinars. You can focus on a specific topic, like stress management or injury prevention. Now, whether it's live or recorded, workshops let you reach more people at once, generating additional income without a long-term commitment. You can also offer supervision or mentorship. If you're a seasoned professional, you can support the next generation of practitioners. It often requires less emotional labor than client work and is a meaningful way to contribute to your field. Also create digital products. This could be an ebook, a series of video tutorials, or even a workbook that clients can purchase and use in their own time. Another question for you guys. Do you already offer telehealth services? Great. If you don't, it's time to start thinking about it, guys. Telehealth allows you to reach a broader range of patients, those who live rurally or in underserved areas, those who are people to think about, those with mobility challenges, or clients just with super busy schedules who can't take time off for a commute to the office. In addition to expanding your client base, you're also helping people who may not otherwise be able to access care services. Now, of course, you don't have to transition solely to virtual care. Many clinicians have found that a hybrid model of both in-person and virtual care works best for them. So guys, choose whatever works best for you. But we do recommend that you keep in mind the advantage that telehealth can bring. So now that you're marketing yourself better, you're also seeing more clients come in and you've solidified your retention strategy. Everything's perfect, right? Of course, as is the way of life, there are still some things you need to be cautious of, guys. The first is the complications that come from scaling too quickly. Now, scaling too quickly can introduce problems you might not see until they start impacting your clients, your team, or even your own well-being, guys. The goal isn't just to get bigger, it's to grow in a way that keeps your work sustainable and your quality high. Okay, so think of it like this. A small business is an engine. And as you grow, you're building a larger, more powerful engine. If you try to run it at the top speed without upgrading the internal parts, the standardized processes and administrative support, for example, the whole thing can break down. Okay, so the key is to grow at a rate that you can manage. And the solution lies in creating systems that can handle increased demand without compromising on the quality of care or fueling any sort of burnout. As you grow, you're essentially building a larger version of what's already working, right? If your core operations aren't clear and repeatable, scaling them will just multiply the chaos. It won't bring success. So here's what you should do, guys. You should document everything. Write down the step-by-step procedures for every essential task. This includes client intake, appointment scheduling, follow-up protocols, billing procedures, and even how you handle client inquiries. Okay. You can also ensure consistency. When everyone on your team follows the same processes, it guarantees a consistent, high-quality experience for every single client. And it also means less confusion and fewer errors within your team. Build a training blueprint, guys. Standardized workflows make it incredibly easy to onboard new staff. They have a clear guide to follow, and that allows them to become a productive team member quickly and efficiently. Now, tip number 2 is once you've standardized your processes, the next step in smart scaling is to automate repetitive administrative tasks. This is where technology and a tool like Carepatron becomes your most powerful growth partner. As your client load increases, so does the administrative burden. And if you're spending more of your valuable time, on scheduling, payment processing, sending reminders, managing paperwork, that's time you're not spending with clients or on strategic growth initiatives, right? So some examples of tasks that can be automated include note-taking, sending and receiving intake forms, which is what we discussed earlier in the presentation. Scheduling can also be automated. It can be simplified for both you and your clients, and appointment reminders, follow-ups, which have the additional advantage of reducing no-shows, guys, should also be taken into consideration. Fortunately, these are some of the things that we can help you guys out with here at Carepatron. Carepatron is built to automate your admin work so you can spend more time with your clients. Now, Herd users will receive an exclusive 90% off when they sign up to the product using the code HERD90. We also know we covered a lot of different information in this session, guys, so please rest assured that it's being recorded and that we will make sure to send it over to you guys after today's session. So you will be able to come back to this presentation and reference any of the information that we talked about today. I'll leave this for a little bit, guys. Make sure you take down the code here, HERD90, for 90% off for your first 3 months, with Carepatron. That is pretty much it for us today. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. Again, my name is Marco. It's been a pleasure to be with you guys here today. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to get in touch through the email here on screen, support@carepatron.com. We will be happy to provide any assistance that you guys need. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.